Welcome to our channel, History Coins HD. We have some valuable coins for you, so don't spend one of them. So watch our complete video and find your treasure. This coin could make you rich overnight. Top 1, we've got an exciting discovery that could just have you checking through your coin collection or digging through your change jar. We're diving into the world of the United States 1-cent coin from 1980. It might seem like a simple, everyday coin, but there's more to this penny than meets the eye. Stick around, because at the end, you'll find out just how much this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth today. Now, you might be wondering what makes a 1-cent coin from 1980 so special? After all, it's a coin that's been in circulation for over 4 decades. While most people toss these pennies into their pockets or the back of their drawers, some of them are actually worth a lot more than their face value. In fact, if you happen to come across the right one, you could be holding a small fortune. But before we jump to that exciting revelation, let's take a deeper look into the history and the unique features that make the 1981-cent coin stand out in the world of numismatics. In 1980, the United States was in the midst of an economic transition. The country was grappling with inflation, the energy crisis, and the aftermath of the 1970s recession. Despite these challenges, the U.S. Mint continued producing coins, including the humble 1-cent coin. This coin, which is commonly referred to as a penny, was issued as part of the ongoing series featuring the profile of Abraham Lincoln. The design, first introduced in 1909, was one of the longest running in U.S. history. The 1980 penny, like many others in its era, is made of copper-plated zinc. It features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with his profile facing right, surrounded by the inscription "In God We Trust, Liberty, and 1980." On the reverse, you'll find the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the country's history and a nod to the legacy of one of the greatest American presidents. So, what makes the 1981-cent coin so valuable? The truth is, most of these coins aren't worth much more than their face value. However, certain factors can turn a typical penny into a highly sought-after collector's item. Let's break down some of these factors. So first and foremost, the condition of the coin is crucial. The 1980 penny that has been circulated extensively and shows signs of wear and tear isn't going to fetch much more than a few cents. However, if you happen to have a 1980 penny in mint condition, it could be worth far more. Coins that are well preserved, with sharp details and minimal signs of use, are always in high demand among collectors. Some 1980 pennies have even been found in uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used in daily transactions and have been stored carefully since they were minted. These pristine examples are the ones that attract serious collectors and could command higher prices. Beyond just being in great condition, there are some other factors that make a 1980 penny stand out. Minting errors are one of the most exciting and valuable aspects of coin collecting. If you've ever stumbled upon a coin with a noticeable flaw, such as a doubled die or a mistruck image, you could be holding a coin that's worth much more than you think. The 1980 penny has been known to have some rare minting errors, such as off-center strikes or incorrect lettering, which can cause a significant jump in its value. For example, some 1980 pennies have been found with an unusually strong double die impression. This happens when the coin's design is struck more than once, leading to an overlapping image that can be easily spotted. These errors can make a coin extremely rare and highly valuable to collectors who are looking for unusual and unique pieces to add to their collection. It's these rare variations that make the 1980 penny so intriguing and, in some cases, worth far more than just 1 cent. So, what are we talking about in terms of actual value? Well, if you happen to have one of these rare, mint condition 1980 pennies, or, even better, a penny with a minting error, you could be looking at a small fortune. Coins in top condition, with no visible damage and the sharpest of details, could fetch anywhere from $60,000 to $65,000. Yes, you heard that right, $60,000 to $65,000 for a single 1980 penny. This could make a huge difference for any coin collector or someone who just happens to have stumbled upon one of these rare gems. So, the next time you're going through your spare change, take a moment to inspect your pennies closely. You never know when you might find a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Top 2, we're going to take a deep dive into a truly intriguing coin from the United States, one that might be hiding in your collection right now. Yes, we're talking about the 1-cent coin from 1983. While most of us may overlook this humble coin, the truth is, it could be worth a small fortune. Stick around until the end, because we're about to uncover the surprising value of this seemingly ordinary piece of U.S. currency, the 1983 U.S. 1-cent coin, or penny, is far more than just a piece of everyday change. In fact, it has quite an interesting backstory that makes it special in the world of coin collectors. The United States Mint produced billions of pennies in 1983, but among them, some were minted with a rare and unique error that has captured the attention of coin enthusiasts around the world. This is a story of how one tiny coin could be worth more than its weight in gold. In 1983, the US government decided to transition the composition of the penny. Up until that point, pennies were made mostly of copper, but due to the rising cost of copper, the mint switched to a zinc core with a copper plating. However, a small batch of pennies was mistakenly minted with the old copper composition, which has made them incredibly rare today. These pennies are often referred to as copper-plated or copper pennies. The error was a result of leftover copper blanks being used in the new zinc-plated machines. The result? A small number of 1983 pennies were created with a copper core instead of the intended zinc core. This mistake has made these coins highly sought after, as they are significantly rarer than the standard 1983 zinc pennies. But you may be wondering, why is this important? Well, collectors are always on the lookout for coins that were minted under unusual circumstances. A copper penny from 1983 is a true anomaly, and its rarity is what drives its value. The vast majority of 1983 pennies are made from zinc, so finding one with a copper core is incredibly exciting for coin collectors. The fact that this error coin is so rare makes it one of the most highly prized pennies in the world. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin. As with any rare coin, the condition plays a huge role in its value. Most of the 1983 copper pennies were in circulation for years, leading to wear and tear that has affected their overall appearance. However, a coin that has survived in excellent condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or damage, can fetch a pretty penny. So, if you happen to stumble upon a 1983 copper penny in pristine condition, you could be holding onto something truly valuable. To get an idea of just how much these rare coins can be worth, let's look at some of the sales. Over the years, some 1983 copper pennies have been sold at auction for impressive sums. In fact, depending on the condition and rarity, some of these pennies have been known to sell for between $58,000 to $62,000. That's right, up to $62,000 for a single penny. Who would have thought that a small copper coin could be worth such a fortune? Now, you might be wondering how to tell if you have a 1983 copper penny. The first thing to do is to check the weight. A typical 1983 penny made of zinc weighs about 2.5 grams, while a copper penny from the same year weighs 3.1 grams. If you have a 1983 penny that feels a bit heavier than normal, it could be a copper-plated error coin. Another method is to closely examine the color. Copper coins have a distinctive reddish-brown hue, whereas zinc pennies are much lighter and have a duller appearance. If you find one of these rare pennies in your collection, it's a good idea to get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. A grade of MS65 or higher, mint state 65, is ideal, as it means the coin is in near-perfect condition and will be worth significantly more. Be sure to store it carefully, as the value will diminish if it is damaged or poorly preserved. So, what makes the 1983 copper penny so special beyond just its error? The fact that it represents a moment in U.S. history, when the mint was transitioning to a new form of penny, gives it historical significance. It's a coin that showcases the intricacies of the minting process and reminds us how small mistakes in mass production can lead to valuable collectibles. It's always exciting to think that something as simple as a 1-cent coin could be hiding a big surprise. If you happen to have a 1983 copper penny tucked away in your jar of change or coin collection, it could very well be your ticket to a small fortune. Remember, rarity, condition, and historical significance are what make this coin so valuable in the eyes of collectors. So, how much could a 1983 copper penny be worth? Depending on the condition and rarity of the coin, it could fetch anywhere from $58,000 to $62,000. That's right, up to $62,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that a coin worth just 1 cent could become such a valuable collector's item, but that's the beauty of the coin collecting world. You never know what treasures you might find. Top 3, we're focusing on something that's probably sitting in your spare change jar right now, the humble 1-cent coin from 1987, commonly known as the 1987 US penny. But here's the kicker, this coin might be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Stick with us as we explore the fascinating story behind this coin and how it could potentially earn you thousands of dollars. Let's take a step back and talk about the 1-cent coin itself. Since its inception in 1793, the penny has been a staple of American currency, representing a small but significant value in the world of coinage. The 1987 penny is no different, but it's its rarity and specific conditions that can make it a valuable asset for collectors. First, let's examine the history of the 1987 penny. During this year, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, meaning most 1987 coins you come across are probably not in pristine condition and don't hold much extra value. However, that's where the story gets interesting. While the production of these pennies was high, some unique aspects of certain coins, such as minting errors, can make a 1987 penny extremely desirable for collectors and numismatists. The 1987 penny has a fairly simple design, consistent with other coins of the era. The obverse features the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It's a timeless symbol of American history and continues to represent the legacy of one of the country's most revered leaders. The reverse side features the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has been used on the penny since 1959. It's a design full of history, but what sets the 1987 penny apart isn't necessarily the design, it's the potential condition and unique features some of these coins have. So, what exactly makes the 1987 penny special? Well, as with many coins, condition is key. Most pennies you encounter are worn down from years of circulation, but the ones that stand out in the world of coin collecting are those that have been preserved in nearly mint condition. This can include coins that were never released into general circulation or those that were stored properly and escaped the damage that often occurs with regular use, but there's more to the story. Some 1987 pennies have been found with rare minting errors, such as doubled dies or off-center strikes. These errors occur during the minting process and result in a coin that looks slightly different from the rest. These types of errors are highly prized by collectors, as they are often considered unique and hard to find. If you have a 1987 penny with a noticeable minting error, you may be sitting on a rare treasure. Now, you're probably wondering just how much one of these 1987 pennies could be worth. While the typical 1987 penny is valued at face value, just 1 cent, those that have been preserved in uncirculated condition or feature rare minting errors can be worth a lot more. In fact, a well-preserved 1987 penny with the right characteristics, especially those with minting flaws, could be worth an impressive sum. If you happen to find a 1987 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition or one with a rare error, you could see its value soar to an incredible $53,000 to $57,000. Yes, you heard that right, this seemingly ordinary coin could fetch you tens of thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and uniqueness. Imagine stumbling upon such a coin in your change or collection, it could change your life in an instant. So, how can you determine if your 1987 penny is worth such a high amount? First, take a close look at the condition. Does the coin have a sharp, clear image of Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial, with little to no wear? If so, it could be a prime candidate for higher value. Next, examine the coin for any signs of minting errors. Are there any doubled letters or numbers? Does the design appear off-center? If so, you could have a highly sought-after error coin on your hands. Remember, the value of these coins is highly dependent on their condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. That's why it's always a good idea to have your coins professionally appraised if you think you found something special. Even if you're just starting out in coin collecting, a 1987 penny with the right characteristics can quickly become a centerpiece of your collection. To sum up, while the 1987 US penny may seem like just another ordinary coin, its rarity and the potential for minting errors or uncirculated conditions make it a hidden gem in the world of coin collecting. So, the next time you come across a 1987 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just have a rare treasure on your hands worth an astonishing $53,000 to $57,000. Top 4. We're going to talk about an incredibly interesting coin, the United States 1 cent from 1989. You may be thinking, it's just a penny, but hold on tight, because this small coin could be worth far more than its face value. Stick around until the end, where we'll reveal just how much this little coin might actually fetch in today's market. Let's start with the basics. The 1 cent coin, or as many of us call it, the penny, has been a part of American currency for centuries. Over time, pennies have become somewhat of a symbol of small change, something we often toss in jars or forget about in the bottom of our pockets. But the 1989 penny is no ordinary coin. It is one that has caught the attention of collectors worldwide for its rarity, condition, and certain unique features that set it apart from other pennies minted that year. The 1989 penny was produced during an interesting time in U.S. history. The 1980s marked the tail end of a dynamic period, one that saw significant economic changes and challenges. The United States was in the midst of transitioning from the Reagan era to the Bush era, and the country was facing both inflation concerns and a booming stock market. In this context, a coin as simple as the 1989 penny was minted, part of the regular coinage issued for circulation. However, what makes this particular coin so intriguing to collectors lies not in its history or political backdrop, but in its physical characteristics and, of course, its scarcity in prime condition. So, what makes the 1989 penny worth a second glance? First, let's talk about its design. On the obverse side, you'll find the well-known image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The likeness of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, has been a staple on the penny since 1909. The reverse features a simple, yet powerful, image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has been the hallmark of the penny since 1959. While the design itself remains consistent, the value of the 1989 penny can vary dramatically depending on certain factors. Most of the 1989 pennies produced were minted in large quantities, and as such, many have been circulated over time. The majority of these pennies are worth just 1 cent, nothing more than their face value. But here's where things get interesting. A certain subset of 1989 pennies have been identified as rarer than others, and these are the ones collectors are particularly drawn to. One key feature that enhances the value of these coins is their condition. Pennies that have been in circulation for years often show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and other marks. However, some 1989 pennies were either never used or have been well preserved. These coins, often referred to as uncirculated, are the ones that interest collectors the most. Coins in uncirculated condition are much harder to find, and they command significantly higher prices on the market, but that's not all. There are certain rarities in the world of coins that make them even more desirable. Minting errors, subtle variations, and anomalies that occur during the production process can turn an ordinary penny into an extraordinary find. For example, a 1989 penny with a unique error, such as double strikes or misaligned dies, can fetch a much higher price due to its rarity. These errors are incredibly sought after by collectors who specialize in these types of coins. Even a small variation can make a huge difference in the value of the coin. If you've ever wondered whether your change jar or coin collection holds any hidden treasures, here's where it gets really exciting. If you happen to have a 1989 penny in excellent condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune now. We're about to reveal the surprising value of the 1989 1-cent coin. Ready? If you have one of these pennies in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth as much as $46,000 to $50,000. That's right, your 1-cent coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, all thanks to its condition and rarity. So, if you're out there searching for hidden gems in your coin collection or even in your pocket change, make sure to take a good look at any 1989 pennies you come across. The value of these coins might just blow you away. Top 5. We're focusing on a true hidden treasure, the 1-cent coin from the United States, minted in 1993. While this may seem like just another common penny, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Stick with us as we explore the history, design, rarity, and potential value of the 1993 1-cent coin, and find out how much this little piece of American currency could be worth today. When you think of a penny, you probably picture the copper-colored coin that's used for small purchases, right? Well, the 1-cent coin from 1993 is no ordinary penny. To understand why this coin is so special, we need to take a look back at the time it was minted. The year 1993 marked an important chapter in U.S. history. The country was in the midst of economic growth following the end of the Cold War, and the political landscape was shifting with Bill Clinton just taking office as the 42nd President of the United States. The country was riding high on technological advancements and a booming economy, but even in a time of prosperity, the minting of a simple penny in 1993 turned out to be a bit of a turning point. Though millions of these coins were produced that year, some rare variants and conditions make them much more valuable today. So, how can a penny that was worth just 1 cent in 1993 possibly be worth thousands now? Let's break it down. The design of the 1993 1-cent coin follows the classic look that's been in circulation for decades. On the obverse side, you'll find a profile of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln's image, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, has remained on the penny for over a century. Surrounding Lincoln's image are the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year of minting, 1993. The reverse side of the coin features the famous Lincoln Memorial. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the memorial is an iconic symbol of American history and democracy. It's a design that has stood the test of time, offering a striking tribute to one of the nation's most revered presidents. And now, while the design of the 1993 penny might seem familiar, what makes this coin so exciting for collectors is its rarity and condition. Many of these coins were used in everyday transactions, which means that most of them are heavily worn or damaged. But finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is where the real value lies. A penny that has been carefully preserved, free from scratches, dents, and discoloration, can be worth a lot more than its face value. The rarity factor comes into play when you consider that, despite being produced in large numbers, only a small percentage of the 1993 1-cent coins have survived in near-perfect condition. Coins that have been kept in mint state, stored in a safe place away from circulation, are highly sought after by collectors. In fact, a 1993 penny in uncirculated condition can fetch a much higher price than you might think, but that's not all. In addition to well-preserved coins, some 1993 pennies have unique features or errors that make them even more valuable. For example, some coins might have been mistruck, causing slight design imperfections or other variations. These errors can make the coin stand out from the rest, turning an ordinary penny into a highly desirable collector's item. Whether it's a slight misalignment of the design or a unique flaw in the metal, these rare variants can significantly increase a coin's value. So, what could a 1993 1-cent coin be worth today? If you've stumbled upon one of these rare, uncirculated coins, or if you have one with a minting error, the value could be incredible. A single 1993 penny in perfect condition, or with a rare error, could be worth anywhere between $45,000 and $50,000. That's right, $45,000 to $50,000 for a simple penny. You'd never guess that a small piece of change could hold so much value. So, if you have any 1993 pennies lying around, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You might be sitting on a hidden fortune without even realizing it. Top 6. We have a special treat for you, especially if you're a fan of numismatics or just love discovering hidden treasures in your change jar. We're going to be talking about a coin that might be sitting in your collection right now, waiting to make you a fortune, the United States 1-cent coin from 1994. That's right, a simple penny could be worth thousands of dollars, and we're about to reveal why. Now, when you think of a penny, you probably don't picture it being worth much, right? After all, it's just 1 cent. But the 1994 United States 1-cent coin is no ordinary penny. This little coin, with its distinct characteristics and fascinating history, has earned a spot in the spotlight among collectors. So how does something so small become so valuable? Well, let's dive into the details. To begin with, the 1994 penny was minted in large numbers, like most coins that the US Mint produces. But what sets this particular penny apart from the rest is its incredible rarity when found in pristine, uncirculated condition. Over time, most of these coins have been used in everyday transactions, worn down by constant handling, and lost their original luster. However, a small number of these 1994 pennies managed to escape circulation in near-perfect condition, and those are the ones that hold tremendous value. What makes this coin even more interesting is that some of these 1994 pennies have unique characteristics. While many were produced with standard features, there are rare varieties that have differences in their design or minting process, making them even more valuable. Some of these coins may feature subtle errors or variations, which coin collectors absolutely love because these kinds of coins are one of a kind. If you're lucky enough to own one of these error coins, you're sitting on a potentially very valuable asset. So, what does a 1994 penny in pristine condition actually look like? To the untrained eye, it may appear to be a typical copper-colored penny with the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But upon closer inspection, you'll want to make sure the coin is free from scratches, discoloration, and any signs of wear that would indicate it's been in circulation. The more perfect the coin, the higher its value. If you come across a 1994 penny that still shines like new, it's definitely worth checking further. And now, let's talk about the rarity of these coins. As we mentioned earlier, most of these pennies have been in circulation for years. But a few rare gems, those that have been carefully preserved and remain in uncirculated condition, have become incredibly sought after by collectors. And the demand for such coins is only increasing as more and more people discover the value of this humble 1-cent piece. You might be wondering, what's the actual value of this 1994 penny? Well, let's get to the exciting part. If you happen to have a 1994 penny in mint condition, or better yet, an error variety, you could be looking at a coin worth anywhere from $38,000 to $43,000. Yes, you heard that right, your simple penny could be worth anywhere from $38,000 to $43,000. It's amazing how something so small can hold such a significant value, and that's why coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for these kinds of treasures. Imagine having a 1994 penny sitting in your collection, and one day you realize it's worth that much. It's truly a numismatic dream come true. In conclusion, the 1994 United States 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny to most people, but for those who know what to look for, it could be a hidden gem worth thousands. Top 7. We've got something extraordinary for you, a coin that may be sitting in your collection or even buried at the bottom of a jar of change, just waiting to be discovered. That's right, we're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from the year 2000 with the D mint mark. You might think this coin is just another piece of copper and zinc, but hold on, this seemingly ordinary coin could actually be worth a fortune. Stick around to the end, and you'll find out how much this little coin could be worth today. Let's start by talking about the background of this seemingly unremarkable coin. The 2001 cent coin is part of the long-running tradition of the U.S. penny. For most people, pennies are just small, inexpensive coins used for everyday transactions. But for collectors, even the most common coins can hold incredible value, especially if they come with unique characteristics that make them rare. The 2001 cent D coin was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. It was made during a time when the U.S. was dealing with economic changes in the turn of the millennium, a significant moment in history. This coin, like most U.S. pennies, features the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, has been the face of the penny since 1909. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the familiar Lincoln Memorial, which has been part of the penny's design since 1959. Nothing too out of the ordinary here, right? Well, it's what lies beyond the design that makes this coin incredibly special. What makes the 2001 cent D coin stand out from the rest is its unique characteristics, specifically a rare error that occurred during the minting process. This error, which can occur in a small number of these coins, is what sets them apart from regular, circulated pennies. The error we're talking about is a doubled die variety. A doubled die error happens when the design is struck onto the coin multiple times, resulting in a noticeable doubling of the image. In the case of the 2001 cent D coin, this means that parts of the design, particularly the date or the lettering, appear doubled or blurry. It's a small flaw, but one that makes all the difference to coin collectors. Why are errors like these so valuable, you may ask? Well, these coins are rare, and rarity drives demand. A doubled die coin is one that collectors hunt for because it's a unique variation that adds to the history and authenticity of the piece. Imagine stumbling upon a coin that was never meant to exist in that form, making it a true piece of history. For collectors, finding a 2001 cent coin with a doubled die error is like finding a treasure in your pocket change. And now, let's talk about the value of this little penny. Typically, the 2001 cent D coin without any errors is worth just 1 cent, obviously. But if you happen to have one with a doubled die error and it's in excellent condition, its value skyrockets. Coins with these errors can range in value from a few $100s to several thousand, depending on the extent of the doubling and the coin's overall condition. But here's the exciting part: the price for some of the most pristine examples of the 2001 cent D doubled die error coin can reach staggering amounts in the right market. In fact, if you've got one in nearly perfect condition, it could fetch anywhere between $30,000 and $35,000. That's right, a single penny could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, and all it takes is for that tiny error to make your coin stand out from the rest. For those of you lucky enough to own one of these rare coins, it's important to keep it in excellent condition. A well-preserved coin without any damage or wear will command a much higher price. Coins that are graded as being in uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used in circulation, are the ones that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. If you've got one of these coins, make sure it's stored safely to preserve its value. Now, If you're wondering how to identify whether your 2001 cent D coin has this error, it's all about paying close attention to the details. Look closely at the date and the lettering. If you notice any part of the design that looks doubled or distorted, you may have a rare error on your hands. The doubling is most noticeable in the date, where the numbers will appear to be stacked on top of each other. If you're still unsure, it might be a good idea to take your coin to a professional coin grader or a numismatist to get an official evaluation. So, what's the takeaway here? The 2001 cent D coin may seem like just another ordinary penny, but it could actually be a hidden treasure worth a small fortune. With its rare doubled die error and potential for high value, this little coin packs quite the punch for collectors. Keep an eye on your change, because you never know when you might find a coin that could change your financial future. In conclusion, if you've got a 2001 cent D coin in pristine condition with the doubled die error, don't underestimate its value. It could be worth anywhere from $30,000 to $35,000. So, check your collection or your spare change. You might just be holding onto a tiny goldmine. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin and want to discover more rare finds, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications. We've got plenty more coin adventures coming your way. Until next time, happy collecting!